Welcome back. It has been a truly seismic week in the world of AI. I'm talking billions of dollars flying around, some fundamental problems getting major fixes, and AI taking on jobs that honestly seemed impossible just a short while ago. So let's just get right into it. That sounds like the plot of some crazy sci-fi movie, right? But nope. It's just what happened this past week in artificial intelligence. So we're going to break down all the corporate chess moves, the mind-blowing scientific breakthroughs, and those moments where AI literally stepped out of the lab and into the real world. First up, the corporate battlefield. The competition between the big AI labs has hit a whole new level. We're seeing partnerships shift and billions, with a B, being thrown around just to get an edge. Okay, this is where things get really interesting. Microsoft is making a huge strategic pivot. Now, we all know its partnership with OpenAI has been foundational, right? But new reports are showing that Microsoft is cozying up to Anthropic, OpenAI's biggest rival. And the reason is pretty simple. Apparently, internal tests show that Anthropic's model, Claude, is just better for some crucial Office 365 tasks. Microsoft is diversifying its bets, and that is a massive vote of confidence for Anthropic. And this right here shows you exactly why Microsoft is so interested. Anthropic just gave its AI, Claude, a massive upgrade. It can now basically be your personal data analyst and presentation designer, all from a simple chat window. I mean, you can upload a bunch of data and just ask it to create a full-on Excel report, complete with formulas and charts. Or you could feed it a dense PDF and have it instantly whip up a PowerPoint presentation. This is a total game changer for workplace productivity. And here's the smoking gun that connects all the dots. This isn't just some random partnership. Sources are saying that Microsoft's own internal testing showed Claude Sonnet 4 outperforming even the super-hyped, not-even-out-yet GPT-5 for these specific, high-value office tasks. So yeah, that pretty much explains the entire strategic shift we're watching unfold. But look, this battle for dominance isn't just about the AI models. It's about the raw computing power you need to run them. And that brings us to maybe the most shocking number of the week. Oracle announced $455 billion in new AI infrastructure deals. That just signals the unbelievable scale of this AI gold rush. So who's writing these massive checks? Well, a gigantic chunk of it, $300 billion, is coming from OpenAI alone. This just goes to show how desperate the top labs are to lock down the computing power they're going to need for whatever models they cook up next. OpenAI is essentially pre-booking server space years and years in advance. And the ripple effect here is it's insane. Because of these deals, Oracle founder Larry Ellison's net worth shot up by $100 billion in a single day, which briefly made him the richest person on the entire planet. So if you ever needed proof of the sheer amount of money pouring into the picks and shovels side of AI, this is it. And while OpenAI is spending all this cash, it's also making some serious moves to become a more mature, independent company. They announced plans to restructure, which basically clears the path for a future IPO, and at the same time, they're partnering with Broadcom to create their own custom AI chips, which is a very clear strategy to become less dependent on NVIDIA. All right, let's switch gears. We're going from the money to the machine itself, because this week saw some incredible progress on both fixing one of AI's biggest, most annoying problems and showing off capabilities that honestly feel like they're straight out of science fiction. We have to start with the biggest thorn in AI's side, hallucination. You know what I'm talking about. It's when a chatbot just confidently makes something up. It's the #1 reason we can't fully trust these systems for really important stuff. But this week, OpenAI might have finally figured out the root cause. So, in a new research paper, OpenAI's team argues that hallucinations are basically a training problem. The way it works now, models get rewarded for making a confident guess, but not for admitting they don't know something. So what do? They learn to just make stuff up. The fix they're proposing is actually pretty simple. Just change the scoring system to penalize being confidently wrong way more than just saying, I don't know. It's a fundamental shift that could make AI way, way more reliable. Now, while one team was busy fixing flaws, another was showing off some absolutely superhuman abilities. An AI named Gauss just solved something called the strong prime number theorem. This was a challenge that the world's best mathematicians had been stuck on for a year and a half. Gauss cracked it in 3 weeks. It produced over 25,000 lines of verified mathematical code. This is a huge, huge leap in AI reasoning. And that same kind of leap is happening in the world of coding too.
The AI coding platform Replit just launched something called Agent 3. It's an AI that can build and test software completely on its own for over 3 hours straight. Its CEO called it the full self-driving moment of software. And that's just a perfect way to describe this jump in AI autonomy. So with all this new power and all this new funding, it's really no surprise that AI is starting to pop up in some very unexpected places. Let's take a look at how it actually integrated into our world just this week. I mean, check this out. Just this week in Albania, an AI named Diela was appointed to the government cabinet to oversee all public contracts. The prime minister says it's going to eliminate corruption. Then in Hollywood, OpenAI is backing an animated movie called Critters, and they're aiming to make it way faster and cheaper than normal. And in healthcare, an AI voice agent is successfully helping seniors monitor their health, cutting costs by almost 90%.
But the sheer scale of AI-driven content is just exploding. Get this. One startup revealed it's producing 3,000 podcast episodes every single week using AI hosts.
And here's the real kicker. It costs them just $1 per episode. They use AI to find trending topics, write the scripts, generate the audio, and they turn a profit after just 20 people listen. This business model is basically creating a content farm, but for your ears. Now, as you can probably imagine, this has caused a ton of controversy. But the founder is doubling down. He's firing back at critics of this AI-generated slop, as they call it, by calling them lazy Luddites. And this really just highlights this growing tension between AI-driven scale and the value of human-created art and media. So all of this disruption, it means we're basically in a race to write the rules for our new AI-powered world, from copyright law all the way to how we even interact with the technology itself. And a massive step was just taken on the legal front. Anthropic agreed to a landmark settlement, paying authors $1.5 billion for training its Claude model on pirated books. This is the first major payout from an AI company over copyright infringement, and it sets a huge, huge precedent. And the industry is already reacting. Major publishers like Reddit and Yahoo have teamed up to create a new licensing standard. The best way to think of it is like a music royalty system, but for the entire internet. It creates a clear legal marketplace for AI companies to pay for the data they use to train their models. And you know, the rules we write today won't just be for today's AI. I mean, look at this. The alter ego. It's a new wearable from an MIT startup that feels like it's from 20 years in the future. It actually detects tiny muscle movements in your jaw and throat as you just think about speaking, and it turns them into commands. The creators describe it as near telepathic communication at the speed of thought. Wild stuff. So that was the week. We saw AI solve its own flaws, achieve superhuman reasoning, and take on jobs we couldn't have even imagined a year ago. It really just leaves us with this one critical question to think about. If this is what one week looks like, what on earth does the next one hold? Thanks for tuning in.